Once upon a time, nestled near the banks of a serene river, there resided a wise and introspective monk. Across the street from the monk's humble abode, in a modest dwelling, lived a solitary woman. As the days unfolded, the monk began to notice a steady stream of men making their way to the woman's house, and this piqued his curiosity. Intrigued by the enigma that lay before him, the monk felt compelled to engage in a conversation with the woman. One fateful day, as the woman was making her way home, the monk intercepted her path. With a gentle yet solemn expression he spoke. "Dear lady, your actions have brought into question your reverence for the divine. Have you ever pondered the consequences that await you beyond this mortal existence?" The woman, taken aback by the monk's accusatory tone, felt a profound sense of remorse sweep over her. She recognized the weight of her transgressions, and with a genuine desire for redemption, she fervently prayed to God, beseeching for forgiveness. Her prayer echoed with sincerity as she implored, "I am burdened by my wrongdoing. Please, merciful God, forgive me and guide me towards a righteous path where I may find an alternative means of sustenance." Days turned into weeks, and yet the woman found herself unable to discover an alternative livelihood. Desperation clouded her thoughts, and she reluctantly returned to the only means of survival she knew: prostitution. The monk, witnessing men once again frequenting the woman's dwelling, couldn't help but feel a pang of frustration, convinced that his words had fallen on deaf ears. Determined to monitor the woman's actions, the monk resolved to keep a meticulous tally of the men entering her abode. With each visitor, he would place a stone in a growing pile, a tangible representation of the sins she committed. The monk's intentions were rooted in a belief that through this visual reminder, he could dissuade the woman from her chosen path. Meanwhile, with each man's arrival, the woman would fervently seek forgiveness from God, her heart heavy with remorse. She yearned for liberation from her wretched existence, seeking divine intervention to guide her towards a life of purity. Then, one fateful day, the monk crossed paths with the woman once more. He beckoned her to his side and gestured toward the towering heap of stones. His voice carried a hint of sternness as he cautioned, "Behold that pile of stones before you. Each one represents a mortal sin committed by your hand. I implore you once again, forsake this path of transgression." Overwhelmed by the sight of the towering mound, the woman trembled. She returned to her home, her heart filled with remorse, and wept in earnest repentance. Her tearful prayers reached the heavens as she beseeched, "O Lord, when will you release me from this wretched existence?" Her prayers did not go unheard. On that very night, the angel of death arrived, bearing witness to the woman's unwavering repentance. In his tender embrace, he lifted her soul and carried her towards the realm of eternal peace. To the monk's astonishment, the angel of death also extended his hand towards the monk, guiding his soul towards the depths of the underworld. In a moment of anguish and confusion, the monk cried out, "Is this your divine justice? I dedicated my entire life to your service, living in poverty and devotion, yet I am condemned to the depths of hell." Meanwhile, this woman, who spent her life steeped in sin, ascends to the heavenly abode. God in all his wisdom responded, with a voice resounding with celestial authority, "My purposes are always just. In your pursuit of devotion, you allowed judgment to cloud your heart. Your soul became tainted with the impurity of passing judgment upon others, while the woman, through her genuine remorse and repentance, shed the weight of her sins, leaving her soul light and pure. It is the weight of your own judgment that has burdened your soul and rendered it too heavy to ascend to the heavens." The moral of this profound tale serves as a timeless reminder for humanity. We should never be quick to judge others. Instead, let us strive to embody goodness, seeking the best in others and dedicating our lives to the service of God with pure intentions. The monk's misguided attempts to pass judgment upon the woman, believing his devotion granted him the authority to do so, ultimately led to his own downfall. His heart became clouded with the weight of his judgments, preventing his soul from ascending to a realm of eternal bliss. In a world often marred by prejudice and hasty judgments, this story urges us to practice compassion, understanding, and empathy. Rather than casting stones of condemnation, let us embrace the virtues of forgiveness, redemption, and the recognition of our shared humanity. By nurturing a spirit of non-judgment and empathy, we can create a more harmonious and compassionate world. The tale also emphasizes the transformative power of genuine repentance. The woman, despite her past actions, recognized the error of her ways and wholeheartedly sought forgiveness from a higher power. Her earnest prayers and remorseful tears cleansed her soul, paving the way for her redemption and ascension to heaven. It serves as a reminder that, regardless of our past mistakes, we have the capacity for change and growth. Through sincere repentance and a commitment to righteousness, we can forge a new path and find salvation. Furthermore, the story highlights the importance of self-reflection. The monk, although devoted to his spiritual practice, allowed himself to be consumed by self-righteousness. He believed that his dedication entitled him to pass judgment on others, failing to recognize the inherent imperfections within himself. His misguided actions serve as a cautionary tale, reminding us to remain humble and self-aware on our own spiritual journeys. True devotion lies not in casting judgment, but in cultivating compassion, humility, and kindness towards all beings. Within the narrative, the contrasting fates of the monk and the woman underscore the notion that external appearances and societal labels do not define one's spiritual worth. The woman, despite her occupation and societal perception as a sinner, found redemption through her repentance and sincere connection with the divine. On the other hand, the monk, despite his outward piety and ascetic lifestyle, fell from grace due to his judgmental nature. It serves as a powerful reminder that true spiritual fulfillment is not determined by societal standards or superficial measures, but by the purity of one's heart and the sincerity of their intentions. In essence, this tale encourages us to embrace a life guided by compassion, forgiveness, and genuine devotion. It urges us to let go of our predispositions to judge others and instead focus on cultivating inner purity, seeking the good in ourselves and in those around us. By doing so, we can create a world filled with empathy, understanding, and acceptance, where the weight of judgment is replaced by the liberating power of love and redemption.